Hey everyone, long time no see. Welcome to my library. This is George, and today I want to talk about True Biz by Sara Nović. I just finished reading True Biz, and I have to give it a thumbs up in terms of originality in displaying ASL for the understanding of the hearing reader. Sara Nović is a deaf author and activist. Her activism being mainly in the name of the deaf community that she's a part of. This novel serves as a introduction to the deaf community. It portrays three main characters, and each one showing different perspectives of the deaf community. For example, February is a coda who is also the head mistress of a deaf school. Charlie is a deaf teenager who grew up with an electronic implant. And Austin is a deaf student born in a deaf family with the proud tradition of deaf-born family members. In terms of writing, Sara Nović declared in an interview that the novel was actually born out of a couple of short stories. Each character was at first a short story that eventually became connected into this novel. She started writing about her characters and then thought about how it would be like for these characters to meet. This is Sara Nović's debut novel. From my understanding, she has published a short story collection book previously and numerous articles and nonfiction work. Okay, it's not a perfect novel in terms of storytelling, in my opinion. But it is an important novel to read because of its subject and because of the conversations that it challenges you to have. It certainly is a challenging subject to approach, and Sara Nović deserves a lot of credit for making it as approachable as it is, despite its flaws. Its originality stands in the way it introduces the reader to deaf history and deaf language, and the history of the deaf language. You learn how the deaf community was affected by history and how it keeps being affected by a system that treats them as they are a flaw that needs to be fixed. The novel explores the side effects of having electronic implants, from nausea to headaches, even to electrocution. Also, it explores the irony of how a deaf family reacts when they find out that they have a hearing newborn child. The reaction they have is similar to what a hearing family member would have if they find out that they have a non-hearing child. It's these are all aspects that you wouldn't think of if not having them introduced to you by a novel or movie or story in that subject, uh, based on that subject. And I think that for all of you who never watched the movie Coda or um, The Sound of Metal, I think you would all benefit from reading this book just to have a clearer, more general idea of what the deaf community looks like, how it feels like to be a part of it and to deal with all these aspects of it. And on a personal note, what this book also did for me was to really make me see the beauty of sign language and make me if I'm ever going to learn a new language in my life, um, it would be that. If I would ever feel like investing in learning a new language, I think sign language would be one that I'd do out of passion and curiosity and learn. And I think that deaf history is something that I've never thought of. I've never considered thinking about how the deaf community ever had to deal with everything that happened in our general history. And yeah, this book doesn't give you all the answers, but it definitely gives you a lot of questions that are worth dissecting and are worth looking into. And and it, I think it has the potential to make you a better person, just because the next time you meet someone from the deaf community, you might actually have a better understanding of the background and make you empathize more with their situation. I recommend this book to anybody who has some curiosity for the deaf community, for anyone who's looking for a, let's call it, light read, but that can also leave you with a nice lesson. I recommend this novel to anyone who was a fan of the movie Coda and of the movie Sound of Metal and want to hear more stories that are in that respect and regarding the deaf community. So there you go. Enjoy. Thanks for watching my video, and don't forget to subscribe. Stay safe. Be nice. See you next time.